Hello, welcome to episode 9 of World War Wonders, where we look to build from the non-rares further into the more completed non-rare side, which does leave us in a bit of a sticky spot with the squad at the moment, with it kind of being half and half, so chemistry wise and most importantly quality is kind of lacking at the moment as we quickly go 2-0 down here. This guy actually has Puskas himself as a fair play, and I say fair play also because he messaged me after this game with basically a joke to do with the fact that my team is based off the Central Powers from World War One. So just the fact that this man was so quick with his joke as well, I knew he knew what he was talking about. So I didn't expect to bump into anyone that would have half a clue of what I'm doing online at all. And it took about 25 games for that to happen, but just the fact that anyone did kind of blew my mind. We do manage to pull one back after going 3 behind, and I am thinking, like, especially at 3-0, I'm in for one here. Like, I might not get anything out of it. So the fact that I scored any goal with Puskas, I was happy with. But I managed to get it back on his left ear. It was a very similar finish to the first, and he now has scored 2. So even if we were to lose it here, the fact that he scored 2 is kind of good enough for me. I think that would have been enough for an upgrade at the time anyway. I can never quite remember what I'm on. I remember at the time, but looking back at it, I completely lose way. But the funny thing you see from the stats at half time there is that literally every shot taken by either of us went in. But again, we head forward, probably trying to get back on that left foot again. But this time we switch back to the right as he's probably expecting the finesse. And we put in another simple finish and pull it back from 3-0 down, 4-3 all. But he gets in my box with his Puskas again, and he shows the quality of finishing that he possesses. And what my defence were doing there, I don't know, but Swallow does make a big save there to give us a chance of trying to get something out of this game. As Puskas brings it forward from the middle here, looks out right to Hakan. He looks back inside to Puskas, and he'll probably do a couple exchanges with Yilmaz here to try and get open. Bit of space here, just trying to get an angle for a shot. Pass is a bit heavy, but Yilmaz does get that early tackling. They're goals I hate conceding when your defender's there, but before you can do anything, they're tackled. But I'll have to take it as it does earn us a 4-all draw. So we do avoid defeat in a game that we were 3-0 down in. And obviously he's got a better team than me, everyone does. Nobody's quite doing what I'm doing, but respect to the opponent, I've been chatting with him since. He's a nice bloke, it seems. Well, I say bloke, I don't know gender or age, but I'm making assumptions here. But yeah, it seems like a nice person, and it was a good game overall. And we did manage to earn ourselves one upgrade, which we use on Schlager here. It's mainly a chemistry move, as well as, like, Yokoslu was alright, to be fair to him, but it's not like a massive kind of drop as if I was to, like, change Yaziki or something like that. I have to show you this because I did happen to forget to start the recording before the game began. But obviously there's no kind of me lying to you here and putting up a different team or anything, as this guy does start to pepper me anyway. You can see 2 very very poor attempts at getting rid of the ball or starting to retain possession from both, I think it was Posh and Schlager. And we paid the price for that with Haji smashing it in from about 23 yards in off the bar. It was a pretty looking goal. It's one you'd like to have on video for yourself, but unfortunately we're on the receiving end of it. We try not to let that deter us as we come forward here. Yilmaz into the feet of Hakan, who does manage to work a decent angle on his right, and it is a top class finish from him, to be fair. So knowing he's probably not too far from leaving the team, as it'll probably be Yilmaz and Yaziki I leave as last to upgrade, mostly because they get that perfect link, which does help retain chemistry for as long as possible, as well as Yaziki being 87 rated, which kind of helps. I'm hardly going to get rid of him first. A bit of poor defending there, puts him 4-1 up. But yeah, after I believe we'll probably do Selic at right back first. It will then be Hakan's turn to move on, then looking at the final 2 of Yaziki and Yilmaz before trying to win the games with the non-rare side and moving on to the final completed rare side, which will have special cards in as well. As I said, I'm not afraid to use those. Puskas does manage to work himself a bit of space there, and that is a very good finish on his right foot. And this was kind of at a time where I needed Puskas to be doing this. Over the weekend league, I didn't feel like he was that great, especially his finishing, which is a key part at the end of the day. He's there to score me goals, and he was struggling to do that in weekend league, actually blowing a lot of chances for me, which I think meant I finished 14 and 8 instead. I only ever really played to 14. I don't want to put the stress on myself of going further. I've got 17 a few times, but I know there's times I've gone to go towards 20 and absolutely blown it, and it's proper got me nerves. So I kind of limit myself now. I also don't have the greatest amount of time on the weekends, even though that's the time you probably should. But just as a side note quickly, yeah, we do use Benjamin Henriks at right back. Someone I do have previous experience with, as I am in terms of foreign teams, Leverkusen are my favourite team. They're kind of fourth choice in my pecking order, or maybe arguably joint with Villa. It's been a rough season for him, but yeah, Henriks has been out of the team for a while. He's been a Leipzig player there, as you can see. But yeah, still remember him from his time at Leverkusen. But yeah, I only play to 14 wins to get back to my fucking hell, my throat. To get back to my point. Yeah, but this weekend, I think it partially might have had something to do with the fact that I was playing on Saturday as well, which I rarely do. I got there in 14-8, which is still okay, but slightly behind the kind of maybe 14-6 I'd like to do it in. And I can't help but feel like Puskas' finishing was letting me down a little bit, but bringing them back to div rivals here, he was on form, and no better game was he on form than this one, as he lashes in another there. Well, probably the best finish of the lot so far. The finesse is always nice to have, but to strike one in with power is always a fun thing to do. But yeah, I needed him to perform like this, as he was essentially on the chopping block. I was thinking, especially at this point with kind of base icons out of packs now, his price that's actually gone up to like 2 mil, borderline 2.1, and I bought him for like 1,750, I believe. So the fact that I'm making profit off an icon which I used for this, I was probably expecting a loss in the most part. Mostly when I use kind of high-end players, spend a lot of coins, and I might expect to make a loss by the time I sell them. But the chance that there's like probably like a slight profit, or if not breaking even, is, well, quite nice to see. And then I'm thinking, well, with 2 mil I can do a lot to my team, maybe add more balance, because I kind of lack defensive players, specifically kind of at like fullback, centre back, CDM. So, well, that literally is all the defensive positions there I've covered. But yeah, so I could have had more balance with the 2 mil, and maybe get a striker I can rely on a bit more as well. I forget that's the key part. From taking out a striker, I probably need to put one in. And I was looking at Ronaldo as a prospect, which, yeah, Ronaldo never fails on FIFA, so he kind of needed to do something like this to kind of give himself more of a chance of me keeping him around after this series for my general team. So he really does back it up here. I think he's already scored 4 in this game. I think he's got, it might have even been, no, it was 4 in this game, as he then gets the assist for Yaziki here. Make it 6-2 for us to make up for the 6-2 we just lost. Kind of a result we needed to actually give us the full house of results in this game. Started off with a draw, hard earned one at that, then got battered, but then battered someone in return. So as you say, I gave you the full rounds of results there, and that is a great one in terms of upgrades, as that allows us to do both the right back and cam, which you'll see who we choose here. I think I've already done the right back, so I'm being an idiot there. Yeah, Uth comes into the team there, as well as, I believe I took out, the main reason I took out Yaziki here for Baumgartner was because Yilmaz would still get a yellow to the striker and get a bit of chem, whereas if I left Yaziki at cam on his own, he would be serious, like proper suffering on about 4 chem. So I decided to make that decision instead, and I think, yeah, just the striker left and we can start trying to win with that non-rare side. You can see Puskas 89 goal contributions in 27 games is just absolutely mental, and as I said, we're trying to get those wins towards those losses so it looks less embarrassing, which with the rare team will hopefully be the moment that happens. But if you enjoyed, leave a like, comment maybe what I can do to improve, although this is probably coming towards an end now. I like to end these months I build the rare side just with a quick weekend league to see how it would do, and then that pretty much wraps up the series there. So we are coming towards an end, probably 2 or 3 episodes from it, maybe possibly 4, I'm not quite sure, it depends how long it takes me at the end of the day. But if you have been watching, thanks for that, and I'll see you next time.